Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to all of you that are new here today. My name is Dina and I just want to thank you for taking the time to stop by and take a look at what we are going to accomplish in this video. My favorite time of year is Christmas, hands down, and decorating for the season is something that I really enjoy doing all throughout the month. I absolutely love the idea of turning our little home into a winter wonderland, and today I hope that this will encourage you to do the same in your home. Now, I am not a pro by any means, but I do love to decorate and have found a few tips and tricks over the years to help me out along the way, and so I thought sharing them with you might lend some inspiration as well. So let's get started on today's projects. The very first thing we are going to tackle is dressing up my garland. Now, I put this up in an earlier video. I can link that down below if you would like to see it. But today we are going to take a few minutes to just accessorize it. Because we don't have a mantle, this mirror kind of acts as our focal point, especially during the Christmas season. So dressing it up just a little bit is always so much fun to me. Now the garland is already swagged, but I wanted to add a little bit more into that swoop, and using these decorative pearls and jeweled garlands are going to do the trick. They will add in that beautiful glitz and glam for the season, and I'm super excited about it. So as you can see, I have just tried to pick points behind leaves and different areas to kind of wrap the beaded garland around there and secure it. That way I can drape it down and up behind my garland and then back down again over it to make that swoop look that we have going on now. Now you have to kind of stand back and adjust where you want it to be. I do want mine to be a little offset, so I'll be going back in and adjusting the height on the left side just to make it a little shorter. And it's really easy because it's just kind of looped over the back of the green garland. So all I do is need to push and pull, and it's that easy. Next, I'm going to add in my jeweled strand and follow the same easy steps by first finding a hidden point to secure it to the evergreen and then letting it drape down next to the pearls. Second is to take it back up behind and over the green garland and letting it drape down once again. And lastly, back up to find a place to secure it up above and next to the pearls. I think one of the nicest things about adding a garland to your decor is that they are super easy to decorate and are a great way to show off your own personality. By dressing them up or by leaving them in their natural state, you are going to win because they always make such a stunning statement all on their own. With a closer look, you can see I let the pearls swoop down lower in the first swag, and then both sets go back up, lay over the top of the evergreen, then back down where the jeweled strand now takes the lower spot. And this is just something I really enjoy doing because I feel like it adds so much to your visual interest and also gives a more luxurious feel to something that started off so very inexpensive. the next part I want to address is the garland that cascades down and onto the floor. Once again, aiming to add in a little more visual interest, I opted to create what I consider a waterfall effect with the pearl and jeweled strands. I created this look by simply letting it flow down a few inches before bringing that strand back up to loop over a branch of the evergreen, and then repeating those steps over and over until it reaches the bottom of the evergreen. Once down onto the floor, I let it drape in a zigzag fashion as if it were continuing to flow, and that is it. Now, I absolutely love the end look. This is one of my favorite things to decorate during the Christmas season and is exactly why I purchased this mirror many years ago. Okay, on to the next morning. I was up super early and out the door to do some shopping before the crowds got too crazy. And now I am back to tackle the tree here in our living room. Now, I am sure you noticed my tree box was brought in last evening and I love it. Ronnie made this for me a few years back and I think it's perfect. It is exactly what I wanted and I still enjoy using it so much. Now, I think the most important thing to do when you bring your tree in is to make sure and start that fluffing process right off the bat. It makes your tree look a little more bountiful. So even though this is probably the most dreaded part of all, especially with a flock tree, it is so important to do. Now, over the years, I have found the easiest way to accomplish this is to do it at each level. I don't wait to get the tree completely together and start that process. I start it right away. And because I have always enjoyed the sparkle and glimmer of extra lights, I am going to add in a strand of twinkle lights to the interior of the tree. Now, again, the easiest way to do this is to start with that first layer and work your way up. Unless you forget that step like I did and you have to go back and do it. But either way, it is so worth it in the end. Another tip, don't wear black when you're putting together your flocked tree. My next step is something that I always do. I bring out all the decorations that might possibly make it onto the tree because I feel like this really helps me visualize what I'm going to do. I also like to separate them into groups of single ornaments and things that I'm going to cluster together so I know where to grab from as I decorate. Just like the tree in the office, I wasn't sure about using ribbon on this tree, but in the end, I did decide to, in order to kind of marry the look going on over on the mirror. This year is the first year I have placed our tree so close to the mirror, and it's throwing me off just a little to have the flock tree next to the evergreen garland. So I'm hoping to use a couple of tricks I have in mind that will marry them together. Now here I am going to be using some of the black velvet ribbon that I found here in town, which I was so excited about. As you all know, last year I could not find one strand in our city, so I had some put in our Amazon cart, but in the end didn't need to purchase it from there. I was able to find some at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and Target. So I'm super excited about that. This bow is going to act as my tree topper. I've placed it up here and just let the ends kind of flow down the tree. And now I'm going to add in another spool. Now, if you have been around for very long, you know that I absolutely hate to waste ribbon. I don't know why, but it has always been something that I just cannot stand. So what I did is I am just unwrapping an entire spool of ribbon, and I'm going to drape that behind the bow and just making it look like it's hanging from the same original bow. And again, just letting it flow down the tree and then kind of tucking it in between the branches. Now that is going to marry with the color and the thickness of the mirror. And now I'm going to add in a couple spools of my pearls. I have collected these over the years. This year I did not see them at Hobby Lobby until last week. So they did have them there and I love them. Now they are getting a little old and they flake a little bit, but they don't look bad at all. This little strand of pearls is just in their trim area by their ribbon. And I don't remember how much it was, but it was very inexpensive and I've had it for years as well and decided to add it in. These little Eiffel Tower ornaments were something else that I found this year. I started collecting them in July and just grabbed a few when they went on sale, and they add so much. I think I love the sparkle to them. Now they were in the pink section, but they look very gold to me. Now I'm going to move on to clustering my ornaments together. If you saw my last video, you saw me do this for our office tree, and I'm going to do it here again in the living room, just kind of picking from different ornament boxes. Another great tip is to keep your original boxes that they come in, because I think they stay so much better. It sometimes can be a pain to get them back in those boxes, but I can tell you they last year after year after year if you take care of them that way. I will admit, our Christmas tree has always been something I truly look forward to decorating and making pretty. We have had all types of themes throughout the years, and I have enjoyed each and every one. Christmas decor could probably be considered one of my vices. I do have a hard time parting with it, so I have quite a few boxes in storage that I can pull from. But like I have said in the past, I try to stay true to my budget-friendly mindset and plan things out in my head early on. I also try really hard to reincorporate old ornaments into my new decor style for the year. So this year I have made 3 trips to our storage unit while thinking things through, and have been able to find many different little things I can use to fill in. I love clustering ornaments and creating a different look altogether. Each cluster is so unique and I feel really adds to the tree. And by using simple pipe cleaners, it ensures that each cluster will stay in place all season long. Now, I do tend to lean towards the look of the clusters resting on the branches as opposed to them hanging from the branch. And I really try to make sure that the pipe cleaners are all hidden away once I'm done. Now, when I do incorporate my larger ornaments, I try to use them in odd numbers. So here I have 3 larger ornaments going on, and I'm going to place them in kind of a zigzag pattern, and I will carry that out with anything larger that I do place onto the tree, making sure that it kind of looks like they are wrapping around the tree in sorts, so each view has the same type of ornament. Now on to my favorite part of decorating the tree, adding in my favorite ornament, the nativity. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. this next ornament is not an ornament at all. It is a frame I purchased at the Dollar Tree a few years back and added in a simple silhouette that I made with a Sharpie. But I thought it went perfectly with the tree. And lastly, I am adding in some picks I have collected. Now, all of these are from Hobby Lobby and can be found year after year. And depending on your own selection, I think they can add in so much personality to your tree without really having to spend a lot of money. I do hope this has inspired you to get creative with your Christmas tree. I think in the end it looks so pretty, and I love the look for our home and our little family. And my hope is that you go away with some of these tips and tricks and that they will help you create something that really speaks of you and your beautiful family as well. Now that it is done, we can take a step back and take a look at the finished product. As we go on our ordinary days this month, getting our homes ready for that blessed holiday to make its way here. Real life moments live on. The rush of shopping and getting all that needs to be done by the 25th of this month. Crowds begin to stir and shopping is all abuzz. The kitchen has different aromas making their way across the house. Some of us will travel and the days will they'll just go on. And these are just ordinary days, just like that day that Mary and Joseph walked along and made their way through another ordinary day. How many people hustled and bustled by the Savior of the world that day without even knowing? How many angry travelers did they encounter on that ordinary day as they searched for a place to stay in a crowded inn? To everyone else around them, it was just an ordinary day, but they were on a mission. A miracle was at work, and God was moving. And just like that day, today in our ordinary day, God is at work. How amazing is it to know that even on our ordinary rushed day, He holds it all in the palm of His hand. I am so grateful to know that I have a living Savior who cares enough about my ordinary day. Thank you all for coming along with me today. I pray that you have a blessed day knowing that He is there with you in the midst of it all. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.